Is this thing on?
Katie McCarthy's here. She's not touching this tonight. But Lucas.
Oh, jeez.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Uncensored Radio. You see our live for yet another day. We have a full house of folks here today. I have the lovely Christina, the vivacious Vera, queen of all things uncensored, Jeffrey Emmett, bodacious Brooke, and the return of Katie McCarthy. We are all here. We are all ready to chat, but we have to talk about, before we even talk about anything else, we have breaking news literally within the last 5 to 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been following the story, but Lisa Marie Presley has sadly passed away at the age of 54.
Oh.
Now, may not mean a lot to a lot of people. A lot of people just think of her as Elvis's daughter, but she is, in her own right, or was her own recording artist, singer, songwriter. She did a lot of good for charity. She ran Graceland and Elvis Presley Industries for a long, long time, and very sad loss. Very, very sad loss. I was fortunate enough to actually meet her many years ago. She was a tiny human being, but this was at the end of a nearly 2.5-hour show.
Stephen?
I know, I was skinny and tiny. Yeah, I know. That's what happens. Welcome to time. But she did a meet and greet after her show, which a lot of people don't do. So I appreciate the little conversation that I had. I've got my signs, stuff and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that poor family, they've been through so much. But she has never been the same. We were talking before we came on air. She has never been the same since the death of her son, which 100%. Kind of really took everything out of her.
How can anybody,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, as a parent, I couldn't imagine.
But she's got this is the thing, she's still got youngish children.
Yeah, well, the father was dropping him off at school, came back, and they found her unresponsive. I mean, and Vera, you would probably know better. You're a nurse. The cardiac arrest that she suffered is when your heart stops completely. Yeah. And I was reading that it said 90% of people that suffer a cardiac arrest outside of a hospital do not survive.
Depends on how fast they're discovered. Like with Tamar Hamlin, CPR was started in seconds, whereas who knows how long she was unresponsive. It's about the immediacy of the intervention. If you are unresponsive for a minute, just 60 short seconds, your chances dissipate.
Yeah. So not the greatest news in the world to start off with, but we do pride ourselves on getting into the news as soon as it happens.
But if you want a treat, though, I think in honor of Lisa, one of my favorite songs that she does that has taken me through breakups and end of friendships, go check out Idiot. I've played it many times. It's a fabulous song. I've dedicated it to many people. Wonderful song. If you've ever wanted somebody to be a cockroach on the bottom of your shoe, this is the song for you.
The first song in mind for her was is it Lights Out?
Lights Out. Yeah. If you ever really want to, she was a very interesting songwriter. If you ever want to know what it was like to be the child of someone as huge as Elvis, her music really gives you the perspective of what it's like to have lived that existence. And it's like, just think about what she's seen in her lifetime. I mean, she was married to Michael Jackson, for Christ's sake. Like,
I know.
Like, she's well and truly been and seen through a lot of iconic moments that I can't imagine how her mother is feeling.
No, I can't imagine that. Her mother was sitting right beside her. Her mother looked so good at the Globes, and she looked so bad. I was shocked to see her at the Globes looking so bad.
Well, and of course, if you look at any of the pictures they have from her the other night, in every one, she doesn't exactly look sober.
She didn't, and when I heard she collapsed today, I regret to say this out loud because it's unkind, but my first thought was, did she coke up at the Globes? You know?
Well, and they said she was partying like 2 hours prior to this spill with Austin. So, I mean, unfortunate. It's sad. And I think one of the things she said was, when she talks about her addiction, and she said, considering all the people around me, you'd think that I wouldn't. She's like, but it was very easy, and it happened very quick after the birth of her twins to fall to opioids. Was that we need to get rid of the shame in this, and that it is nobody's fault. It's not her fault. It's not anybody else's fault.
Right.
Like, it just happens.
And we also need to get rid of the shame of the stigma of depression, because most addicts are self-medicating for depression and anxiety.
And another thing too, she said is that we need to talk about it. So I don't
absolutely.
I think a lot of people be like, "Oh my God, she just passed. It was just announced. Like, how could you?" But I think, like, for her, she's somebody that would have wanted, like, hey, like, it's okay, I don't know.
Right. I mean, there's got to be lessons learned from every situation, and to have someone that people think would have had a blessed life. You're the child of not even a superstar, like an icon. You're the child of the only child of an icon who has technically probably never wanted for anything in her life, but that doesn't mean her life was easy. Do you know what I mean?
Well, she was sitting there looking at her father slumped over body on the carpet going, my daddy's dead. I mean, when you're a 9-year-old, that's going to shape the rest of your life, and she talked about his erratic mood swings that could see him taking fistful of pills. So how does that affect your mental health going into adulthood? And then to marry Michael Jackson, all those different marriages, and then I just such
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, everybody thinks like, oh, money solves everything, celebrity, fame, and if anything, we should learn that it doesn't solve anything. It just can exasperate the situation.
Exactly, and you don't know what goes on behind. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and just because someone is famous doesn't mean everything is now
right,
copacetic in life. I mean, look at Austin Butler's going to be like, "Fuck, did I kill her now?" You know what I mean?
I hope that the rest of her children and her mother and her exes and everybody that was in her life can find some sort of peace and healing going forward, because there's just been so much loss in that house. I can't.
And there was before Benjamin's suicide, she was like literally going to release new music and tour and all this kind of stuff. So there was a bright spot, and then this event happened that we have talked about before on the show, and it kind of altered the whole course of her life. Really, it changed everything. It's very, very sad. I'm a bit sad today now. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. But hi,
Lashana.
Lashana. So, what do we want to talk about? There's got to be some good news amongst them.
Let's surprise everybody and just end the show right now.
Yeah, we're ending it now. We're just gonna play Lisa Marie. We're gonna play Lisa Marie Presley music. No, we won't. We'll get sued.
Fuck them. Go ahead to us. Her family needs some money.
We'll get sued. But yeah, there's lots of drama this week, so let's maybe do the actual thing where I've got to do the thing and press the thing. Okay.
Hot load of hot topics.
Okay, I did the thing where we do the thing. So we've already discussed the breaking news, but there's still a lot of other stuff that has happened this week. Now, we did briefly discuss last week. Kelly Osbourne has given birth to her child. Now, Sharon's inability to keep her mouth closed has apparently caused quite a problem for Kelly, and she has released her own very brief statement on what she thought of Sharon's, excited grandma post, Which, I mean, can you really blame her? But we'll talk about it we'll talk about it in a second because, you know, parents and overstepping, we have a bit of a history. Kelly took to Instagram and said, I am not ready to share him with the world. It is no one's place but mine to share any information about my baby. Ooh.
Not wrong.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong, but is it a double standard that she is, like, she's talked about Ozzy, who, and she didn't want to do a gender of it. She didn't want anyone to know anything about the baby. Ozzy told everyone that the baby was going to be a male months ago.
Well, she was born into a family that shared everything. We saw every freaking Osborne fart for a couple of years there.
Exactly.
You know, she has a right to want some privacy around.
But is it not?
I was like, she does, yes, but you can't have a go at your mum for being excited when your
dad's already been there.
Is excited, and she's like, "Oh, it's just dad.
It's dad."
Yeah. Like that's the
yeah.
thing that gets me about it is like, to me, it's really bratty for her to go, "Oh, how dare she share?" When, you know, there's already that whole underlying Aussie revealed the gender, and she was just like, "Oh, dad," like.
I think it's a little different though, because the baby hadn't arrived yet, and Shannon had basically stole her thunder and said, "Oh, baby's here." That's not her place.
Well,
and
but
the
what
whole
a way to make more attention to the whole situation by now starting feud in public with her mother.
That's what the issue to me is. Yeah.
Hi, let's make more attention instead of just saying, "Yep, my son's here. Thanks, he's healthy." Blah blah blah.
Right. What's the big fucking deal?
Instead, start a fight with your mother in public and draw more attention.
That's the other side to it.
So that
you should have just said, "Yeah, he's here. Leave us alone. Bye."
Like,
and you know, like I said, we watched every fart for 2 years.
I just love how you know that. Like,
we know she's
watched
a brat.
I don't necessarily think it's. Look, I'm not a parent. Okay, we famously know this, that I am not a parent.
Me neither.
I think that, you know, as she said, it's her business, it's her baby. So if she doesn't want it out there, she doesn't want it out there. I can forgive exuberance, you know. Grandparents get excited. We all know that. Grandparents think that grandchildren are, you know, God's gift to whatever. But yeah, the double standard is a little bit interesting. No family is perfect, and we all know that the Osbournes are especially not perfect. So I don't think that there's any real surprise there. While we're talking family dynamics, let's talk about a very interesting revelation that has come about this week. If you're a child of the 90s, your heart may have swelled a little bit when it was revealed that TLC's Chili and Matthew Lawrence are now an official couple. But there is big questioning as to when the relationship actually started, because he has just very, very recently been divorced from Dancing with the Stars' Cheryl Burke.
Who's that lady in the photo? That's not Cheryl Burke.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's what she looks like these days. That's what she looks like these days. She may be a bit fresher than usual.
I find it remarkable, and I'm not a big 90s. I had other things going on in the 90s. I'm not big on the 90s. I don't have a lot of trivia for that time period. But Matthew Lawrence looks so much older than Chili, and yet he's the younger of the two.
He does look like he has
remarkable about that photo.
has been written hard and put away wet. Yeah, as Jeffrey likes to say.
Life has not been easy for that man.
Well, he's a Lawrence. When Joey Lawrence is your big brother.
Yeah,
it can't be easy.
Well, it's not like any of the Lawrence boys have been doing anything lately.
They're busy. They're always doing something, though. They're deceptive. Well, they're deceptively busy.
They just started their, what was that TV show they had where they were up brothers or something? They out brotherly love. They brought it back as a podcast now via Rock.
That's what they do.
And I missed it.
Blink and you missed it.
Another podcast. I can't think of the name of it right now.
I'm surprised that Maya Bialik hasn't had what's his name on that show, that new show that she's got. Did you
that cat one?
Call Me Cat or what's the name?
Yeah, Call Me Cat.
Did we see the Leslie Jordan farewell video from Call Me Cat?
A little bit.
That was really that was fucking emotional. Cheyenne Jackson's in the background crying like a big homo. I'm like, oh, pull it together, Cheyenne. Pull it together, Cheyenne.
Well, I'm not gonna. Don't tell him to pull it together. I couldn't even pull it together. Come on.
I didn't realize Swoozie Kurtz was in that show. I love her.
Is he a big homo?
Yeah.
Cheyenne Jackson?
Cheyenne Jackson.
Is your gaydar a little off?
I don't know him. I'm not familiar with him.
He's one of the many lookalikes from Ryan Murphy's universe. All those men that look the same, you know.
He was also in The Descendants. You should know this. You have young children.
But he was hotter and nakeder in Ryan Murphy's stuff, so it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, he was pretty hot as 80s. I was into it.
He really was.
I
agree.
See, Brooke, she's like, yeah, he was.
I was for it.
We've all had relationship issues before. Do you think that there is a moratorium of time or an appropriate amount of time, etc., before when you end a relationship, especially a marriage, and then pick up with someone new?
I don't think so.
You should probably end the marriage first before you do it.
Because, I agree with that.
Now, they do say that everything is above board. They weren't dating before the divorce, and before they were official, Chili was actually still seeing other people other than Matthew. So that's what they say.
So they're
supposedly
on paperwork divorced. Okay.
Yeah, they were on paper divorced, which is they weren't living in the same house.
Wow.
I was going to say, in a lot of instances, you need to be separated for 12 months, officially, legally separated for 12 months before your divorce is granted. So if they've had to go through that separation period and now he is officially divorced, I don't see an issue with it. Even if they started dating during the separation period, don't see an issue with it. Having been there before, don't see an issue with dating while you're separated.
There's some speculation to whether they were actually separated or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Cheryl said he was a cheater.
Cheryl said that he said he was not going to talk to her anymore.
Yeah.
And that they were trying to work things out.
She had a TikTok.
Cheryl had a book to sell, didn't she, as well?
Yeah.
And
didn't the book come out when all this divorce revelation happened?
Cheryl's TikToks were riveting.
Cheryl. I love spilt tea, but I just wait. Do they have kids?
No, I think they were trying for kids.
If they have kids, I think it's up there. You can do whatever. You know what I mean? They're adults.
Right.
Pull it together. Right. I know that Chili has kids.
Yes.
But I think they're like adult children.
I was going to say, she's closer to my age than...
Yeah. She's like, Chile. Vera is the left eye replacement in TLC.
I was the left eye in my group when I was a kid.
TVC. TVC. Yeah. We love it. All right. We want to talk. We're still talking fucked up families. Oh, yeah. This week, the revelations are out there. Prince Harry's book, Spare, has hit the shelves.
So why do we not have Prince Harry's picture up? Why
because
do we have the picture of the
stories
about
because
the cat fight?
This is what they're trying. This is what I'm saying. This is what
why
I'm
are we not talking about his penis?
Well,
I found the most fascinating thing.
What,
guys? I'm actually.
I missed something.
I'm a good way
I
through
certainly
the book.
did too.
Check my TikTok.
I'm listening to it on Audible. I'm listening to it on Audible. I have 6 out of a 15, nearly 16-hour book. I have 6.5 hours left. We're not even at Meghan yet.
I found the most remarkable thing, the fact that he always knew that he was the spare. I really found the fact that
they would have told it.
Raised to like harvest his organs if anything happened to William. I mean, that's the part that I find mind-blowing.
He thinks he was a donor baby?
Yeah.
I think this whole drama between Meghan and Kate, fascinating. I mean, it's over
dresses.
Yes.
It
sounds like some other wedding I know that played out on air, and a Power Ranger got called a cunt on air. I don't know whose wedding it could have been. And maybe if you go back to Blog Talk and you go listen to 2012, you can hear Karen Ashley from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers got called a cunt on air. Just saying. Okay, so the thing that was so crazy to me is I saw where everybody was like, oh, it's because she said she had baby brain or whatever. And they made this out to be some new big revelation and how Meghan was really the bad guy and all this. And I'm like, none of that changed what Meghan's story was about any of that. Exactly. It didn't change anything. So because she said something back after this got started, it doesn't change anything. And
I want to get back to my point, though, here. Meghan is not the biggest part of this book. You are almost finished with the book, and he hasn't gotten to Meghan.
Exactly.
Yet the biggest thing that we're talking about is the cat fight between Kate and Meghan. This is and we're feeding into it.
Because Meghan's black.
But you need to understand. We need to understand and
like the whole thing.
Listening to him.
It's such a scandal. It's such a scandal to this family.
It's also about women taking on women and, those cats, and it diminishes us.
But
if you check out the book.
Rosie O'Donnell commented on our TikTok today talking about how Megyn Kelly's annoying. Because
I'm going to speak.
Megyn Kelly is more irrelevant than fucking Santa Claus.
Oh, I haven't had to do this for a while. I'm going to speak.
Wait, what's wrong with
as the person who has been having Prince Harry's beautiful voice, he's got a very soothing voice. Actually, I got the audio book. What you will understand, what I have so far in this is that he is there is no massive problem. The biggest problem for him is he was someone who was born royal that probably shouldn't have been, and the amount of drama and problems and just violence and danger that the press has caused him and psychological trauma that the press has caused him in his life, I understand it. And everyone's like, well, then why are you writing a book? Why are you selling a story? Because this is the only way that he gets his narrative out there. Everything that this guy has done has been twisted in some way by the media to make it something other, to make it salacious, to make it dramatic. So this is, and I understand it. I understand taking the power of the narrative back. He's done his interviews. I think there's 4 interviews arranged, and that's it. That's it for press. That's all they're going to talk about the book.
Really? I've seen like 3 of them.
Yeah, the last one was
almost done. V.
Yeah, he's finished. He's officially finished. So I get it.
Did you get to the part?
I gotta stop and jump in again. It's 2022. Should anybody be born royal anymore? Do we really have room for monarchs anymore?
2023.
That's not. Yeah, but that's not really to be stuck in a system that you didn't create and a position that you didn't ask for. I understand. I get it. I get why they did what they did, how they did what they did, and why they're doing what they do now. Because everyone's like, "Oh, they're after money." Let's face it; they will have seen more money than any of us combined will ever see in our life. They're never going to be in the need for money. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it's not about money. And Jeffrey, you'll appreciate it. The biggest thing that he's talking about is mental health. Yeah. The fact that the chapter that I was just on, he was talking about how he realized that the panic attack, he was suffering panic attacks from having to even just go outside to talk to people in a formal situation because putting on a suit reminded him of having to walk behind his mother's coffin.
Right.
Like, that's where therapy got him. So every time that he was doing official work and having to put a suit on and put a tie on, he's re-traumatizing himself and having to deal with it. And
okay, and that's all said, Steve. But now I want to understand, what was he saying about his brother's penis?
Oh, so there's a lot of penis. Look, there's a lot of penis talk. There's a lot of penis talk.
Time out. Start over. Where is this penis talk coming from?
Jeff, he's got to put some cream on his penis. I got
yes, okay, here we go. The penis, all right, the penis talk comes at the beginning because he talked about being in military school where there was like the circumcised and the uncircumcised boys. And then there was a report, he goes, my penis is almost as famous as I am, because when they were born there was a whole discussion about how Diana wouldn't allow them to be circumcised and da even though they both are. They made it up. Like, the press has made up this information. Now, the reason why there is more penis talk is that he did a trek to the North Pole, or tried to trek to the North Pole with some of the returned soldiers that he works with. So with the Invictus Games and all that kind of stuff. So he was trying to do a trek to the North Pole. And he goes, all right, I'm right. I have warm pants. I have like da-da-da-da-da-da. What no one told him is you actually need to wear something that he calls, and I don't know if it's the official word, a cock cushion, in order to ensure that your nether regions do not get frostbitten. So he was only wearing pants and underwear.
Okay, I have another question.
He had frostbite on his cock.
Okay, next question. Did he address the Nazi costume?
Yes.
Does he regret it?
Yes. Which is very funny because the Premier of New South Wales here in Australia yesterday got found out for wearing a Nazi costume to his 21st birthday. This is a Church Yvonne Church. I have 7 children. The power of God. Love, love, love. Dude got caught out. So obviously that photo is circulating somewhere. It hasn't made the press yet, but he's made a preemptive strike at the press and guess where he was yesterday afternoon?
Where?
The Sydney Jewish Museum.
Oh, geez.
And you haven't been able to get your hands on that photo?
It's not out. It's not floating around. This guy's a father of, I think, 7 kids.
Find his friends. Get that photo.
I don't hang with church. I don't hang with church people, Jeff. They're not my bag. Not my bag. But yeah, so that's why we're talking about Harry's dick. But yeah.
But what is it? Said he talks about his brother's dick.
Because it was about the circumcised thing.
Can we stop talking about their dicks now?
I don't know. I could talk about Harry's for
I'm
a while.
so fucking confused.
I'm just really over this.
But yeah, so
a lot of people
are extracting what they would like from the biography, and a lot of it has to do with surprise Meghan Markle, because we have to have a villain, right? Mm-hmm. We gotta have a villain, but she's gotten. Like, for someone, and I've said this, she's not a mastermind. I don't think she is an evil criminal mastermind.
I don't either. You know,
it doesn't seem that unlikable
in any way, shape, or form. You know,
is it really?
And I think the problem.
Christina, tell me how many black people you've seen in the royal family. Ever.
Clearly 0.
I mean,
she's like the least black person I've ever seen. Like,
but this is the problem.
That's not true. We know
she is the other
white black people, but anyway.
She is the other. You know, she is
okay. Well, the whitest blackest person in the royal family.
Okay,
she's black. She has a job. She was an actress. She had her own, agenda before.
I have to tell
you. Good for her.
Yeah, right.
I never considered myself to be a person of color. I grew up more identified with Italian Americans than with Mexican Americans because all of my Hispanic family lives on the West Coast and all of my Italian family lives on the East Coast where I live. And yet I cannot tell you how many times I've been otherized. There are people who will check your skin tone at the door. None of them are on this panel, but they do exist.
And what's so crazy to me is that I look at you and I would have never, we met in she's Italian. I would have never, because you, to me, your skin tone is that of an Italian, not even Mexican.
Thank you.
It's wild to me.
And yet there were people who otherized me my entire life.
I'm sorry, Vera, your last name is not Italian.
There's that.
But
it's not, but you can't get more Anglo than Vera.
but I know your real name.
But in an ideal world, it wouldn't matter. But you know what? It just shows how far from an ideal world that we really, really are. You know, like.
Yes, and that's my point. It's like
crazy.
I never, Dino Badala talks about the fact that he was white until 9/11. You know, it's like I grew up being white until all of a sudden I wasn't. You know, it's like holy shit. What do you mean? Why am I getting thrown out of Bible camp because I was too dark? You know, why am I being treated like I was a kid? You know, and I couldn't ride in the bus because I was too dark. You know, I mean, why does this exist in our world? That's why Megan is
people are assholes.
People are assholes, and I,
exactly. I was going to say that.
Like it. I don't think it's fair, and I agree. I would look at her and never ever think colored. I might think Italian. I might think Mexican. You know,
literally I literally just had this discussion with my oldest because, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up and was trying to give him the cliff notes of why this day is important and, that this is still a huge problem. Well, why is this still a problem? And really couldn't think of anything else to tell him besides, well, people are assholes. That's word for word what I said to him. Well, people are assholes. Like, I'm sorry, I got nothing else for you, kid.
The first person to look at somebody and be like, oh, they're different because the skin tone is darker. Like, the fact that the first person to put that together and convince other people that somebody else was less than because of their skin tone. Like, how much of an asshole they had to be.
When I explained to him that there were separate bathrooms, he goes, well, there's separate bathrooms now. I said, no, honey. There were separate bathrooms and there were separate bathrooms. Like there were men and women bathrooms and then there were men and women, white and colored bathrooms. And he was just mind blown.
Australia just get taken out?
I think apparently. So. I don't know what happened.
Well,
what's going on?
I'm sorry, folks. We lost Australia. Let's take a moment of silence for the Australia.
The Aussies.
Something going down on Earth?
I have no idea. Well, Lisa Marie died,
Well, you know what? This is a great time for me to go into my theory that, aliens.
Aliens, I'm blaming Putin.
Oh, I'm so glad that this thing is breaking up.
Hello?
Okay, the world.
No, it just happened to Brooke as well. So something's going on with. There's been a preemptive strike on Australia.
What happened?
I'm not saying it's aliens, but aliens.
I'm not saying it's Putin.
Yeah.
Didn't you ever see Ancient Aliens? That guy with the hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
First it's Lisa Marie, and then it's Stephen Brooke. I can't.
No. Icons being taken away.
It's too much.
Since we're talking controversy, I wish Brooke was here for this, but you guys probably won't know / care that much. But we've had a bit of an Australian news story.
Cardinal Pell, is that his name?
Cardinal George Pell has passed away. Good fucking riddance. It's a bad rubbish.
Yeah, a priest is a priest.
Now I'm gonna get in there before anyone blah blah blahs me or goes, he was cleared of whatever.
No, he wasn't.
This man had knowledge of multiple sexual misconduct cases and like factual, like seen with his own eyes things. He knew about them. For him to say it is very dark. It's a very dark topic that I don't care for. Fuck you. You deserve everything you get. I hope that it was painful, and I hope that you are in pain for the rest of eternity, you motherfucker.
Where's the... I want the lighter so I can just like... Good for you, Steve.
I firmly believe that people who immerse themselves into religious preoccupation are covering up other sins. You know, it makes perfect sense to me that pedophiles are attracted to the priesthood to you know, hide their sins in church and religion. You know, the number of Baptist ministers in the American Baptist Church, what was it, 2,000 in the last year that have been credibly accused of pedophilia?
Well, think about how many prisoners turn to God, right? Because they don't really want to do the work on themselves. They want to just, I found a higher power. I found Jesus, right? It gives them this bullshit line of, I'm a better person because I found Jesus. It's what all these people do.
They're coming for Christina now, too.
I'm sorry. My internet is so fucked.
Christina, blink if you're in trouble.
The airplanes, Lisa Marie, and now Steve, Brooke, and Christina.
She blinked. Fuck.
When my
good.
mom
I have my
away,
Wi-Fi on now.
she got the last rites, and the three of us were there when the priest was there giving her the last rites.
I'm so sorry.
And he absolved her of all her sins. And we had been through this before. With
Did you feel better?
That was part of the... I didn't feel better, but
the magical get out of free jail card that fixes everything.
I was gonna say.
Why didn't you look at the priest and be like, "Excuse me, you should try again because it didn't work"?
Well, you know, this has been my problem with religion since I was young. It's like you can be the kindest, most gentle atheist on the planet. You can rescue birds and kittens and give to the poor and give the clothes off your back to the homeless. And if you don't believe in Sky Daddy, as Jeff likes to say, you're going to hell. But you can be the most horrible, crime-ridden, murderer, rapist, bastard on the planet. And as long as you say, God forgive me at your deathbed, all's forgiven, and you go to heaven.
Yeah.
It's the problem.
It's like one big, I'm sorry. Like, Christina, go. I can see she's ready.
I know.
No, don't put me up on the screen, please. My house is
too late.
Make me small again. But I'm just saying, like, all right. I grew up Catholic. I believe in, you know, sin and confession and all that shit, right? So I don't agree with
Lord, you are prayer.
If I do everything right, I have a free ticket. Like, obviously, I know that that's bullshit. Like, there's nowhere in writing does it say, if I follow his word, if I follow his rules, will I get in, you know, guaranteed, right? Mm-hmm. But I do feel, though, as if you truly do repent. Like, if you are truly sorry, that God will see that. You know, again, I don't want to say that my life is lived under God's rule. Like, I'm clearly not a fucking saint. Well, again, it's just the way that I feel. Like, again, if I were to do something, not murder, I wouldn't say murder or sodomy or anything along those lines. I would just say, like, just not sodomy. I'm sorry, like raping kids.
I was like, wait a minute, Christina, I know you've been pucked in the ass at least once.
So anyway, I don't want anybody to see this. I'm just saying, like, you know, if I'm raping kids or murdering kids, like, obviously, when I get to the Lord's gate, I hope that those assholes don't, you know, convene with me while I'm up there, you know, like, if I do something in ill will, if I truly do and apologize in my core, believe that I'm sorry.
Christina's had her first. Christina's had her first. Oh fuck! Moment on the show. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. I was like, fuck Kathy. Wait, we like that. We like that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I'm not blanketly, criticizing all Christians. I believe my father was really a man who walked the faith. He went to church every day. He would pick up hitchhikers, drive them 20 miles out of his way to their destination, and give them $25 out of his wallet, because he wanted to help people. I do believe that there are people who walk the path. Not Chef or obviously not Katie, but hey.
Yeah, they're muted. It's fine. We'll give them time to recover.
Unwanted.
Unwanted Buttery. Yeah. Not my choice. Not my choice, Buttery.
And Katie looks like freaking Snow White tonight, and she looks
like a fucking porcelain doll. What
she's
light
so
do you
happy,
have on right now?
So happy to be back.
Your car headlights. It looks like her car headlights are on right now. Like something is.
Yes, she's.
It's all right. They're coming
on fire.
But yeah, I don't.
The ice queen.
I don't believe that that especially someone like that. I don't know.
But yes, church harbors
eternal damnation.
Right,
sins.
thank you. Eternal damnation. That's eternal Dalmatian for him.
Many sins and many sinners. And clearly Cardinal Pell was among them.
Okay.
Yes. He's going to hell. I don't care who said he was absolved. He's not absolved. He clearly was not sorry for fucking any kids. So
all right. Let's talk. Since we're talking about atoning for past sins, this story has had a very interesting reaction on our social media. One troubled country star, Morgan Wallen, has been in the news again this week. This time, Morgan was filmed in Nashville pouring a drink down a woman's blouse as she tried to pull away from him. Now, very, very interesting response on this one from
I love the Instagram response that we got. Oh, he was just playing around. You guys love to tear him apart.
It wasn't just one person. There were several white women.
And you know what's great is she clearly did not want that. Like, if you watch the video, she was not into it.
Did you see the one that was like, I'm telling you, he knew her, she came with him. And
it doesn't matter if she came with him.
I don't care if she was his wife.
You don't get to do that. She clearly was just like, no.
Like,
she
these
wasn't into it.
Yeet women are all like justifying this dude pour a drink down her. Like, what is wrong with you? Go get a fucking therapist.
These are the women who keep voting for
Lauren Boulevard and fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Exactly.
Because he sounds like every other male country singer.
Him when he was probably drunk and saying that word.
The N-word.
That you shouldn't say.
That word.
That naughty word. That word.
Yeah, he's a fucking cunt.
So why do we excuse one behavior for another? So he's not allowed to.
Because he puts the country.
It's not appropriate for him to be a racist, but you can violate people's space, and that's fine.
None of that behavior is appropriate.
Because he sings country music.
It wouldn't be appropriate for anyone to do that.
No, and he keeps showing like he has problematic
and I will bet you,
behavior.
Speaking of otherisms, $100 that these women, if it was a rapper who did this, would be screaming about how inappropriate and how ugly, and this man should go to jail and blah blah blah.
If he was black, right?
A white guy, they can excuse it.
A white guy
that those women
he's a gentleman. He wanted it.
Their mind over Will Smith. You know that women losing their mind, not because of anything other than the fact that it was a black man.
Yeah. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, that thread is so out there in our world right now. It's disgusting.
I'm just like, fuck off. Like, he just seems like a douchebag.
He does. He gives off that big douche energy.
I'm not surprised that a douchebag is doing douchebaggy things, but we're allowing, not we, but especially women are allowing him to get away with that behavior.
Let me ask you something. If this man walked up to you in a bar
Christine's like, yes.
Him and his mullet need to step back.
This man walked up to you in a bar. Not a country singer, Morgan Whalen. This man.
Just a guy.
Not a millionaire. Just a man. A local man with a mullet.
We got it.
And
Yeah.
a cut-off jean shirt and dumped a drink down your shirt. Would you be defending him then?
I'd be kicking him in the nads.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a punch to the face.
I'd be kicking him in the nads.
But
you wouldn't be singing that tune. You wouldn't be defending him then. You'd be pissed.
But if you were
very famous, I think it might have been, I can't think of the comedian, but a very famous joke about 50 Shades of Grey. Mm-hmm. This man is only sexy because he's a billionaire. If this happened in a trailer park, you'd be on an episode of
I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Like, if it was Post Malone, bitches would be lying the fuck up, and nobody would have a fucking problem. Tits would be out, mouths would be open. Like, it would just, like, there would be no stopping it. But
listen, I'm just saying, if there was this just regular guy named Morgan down at the dive bar in your local town, you wouldn't be singing this tune.
Yeah, it's not assault because he's famous. It's not assault because he's famous. It's okay.
Right. It really is. It's just because he's got money and he's famous.
All right, we've talked about women's bodies. We've talked about women's bodies. We're going to talk about men's bodies now because there's been a couple of stories this week about two male singers that is solely focused on the way they look. Now, we've had this picture isn't recent. This picture isn't recent. Sorry. Yep, I know what you're saying. I would have got there eventually.
You missed me.
This picture isn't recent of Adam Lambert, but Adam Lambert, in recent times, he has admitted to piling on the COVID-15 and getting COVID curvy and, doing the same thing. Sam Smith.
I don't think he looks bad at all.
Who is gender fluid and does not identify as male, has also recently been showing a fuller figure. Now, the way that social media has reacted to these photos has me stumped. Because we are all to believe in this modern day that, everybody is beautiful and da-da-da-da-da. Lizzo, you go, girl. You're putting it up there. Plus size women. Oh, aren't we thick and gorgeous and juicy and all that kind of thing. But because these are not people, they're just gross.
I'm going to say, again, it's otherism, look at all the white men who look like cisgender straight men who put on weight. They aren't getting called out.
Can we just talk about this though?
Gay?
That's not really even overweight.
What was that SNL?
No,
what was that SNL skit?
He is one of the sexiest
Give me a
men on the
big boy.
planet.
I
love
need a
Adam
big
Lambert.
boy.
Yeah.
Him at all.
They are gay. Look, they are gay fat. As Jeffrey will attest.
Amy Grant,
they're definitely gay fat.
Just
they're gay
Kennedy
obese.
Center honors.
Yeah.
And her husband is Vince Gill. And Vince Gill's carrying his COVID curvy, and there's not anybody complaining about that.
There isn't any problem with it. And my other big issue is that the inclusivity police that that the alphabet mafia claim to be, let everyone be proud and out and happy and express themselves the way they are, but you
not
can
if
wait.
they're ugly, fat, small dick. If you have a weird nose.
I am open to the gays. I love them all. But they can be some of the bitchiest people on the planet. I mean, come on.
We're mean girls.
Yes,
Like,
I know.
I'm sorry. That's pretty much a normal. What do people think normal male bodies look like? Because not everyone's getting around looking like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yes. Not any.
Right.
Rarely any straight guys look like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like,
those guys are the worst, anyways. I'm serious.
Debatable.
No, they are. They're full of themselves. They're unobtainable, and
They
they're the
are
biggest
attainable.
bitches alive. P.S.
Well,
they
how
suck
about
in bed.
supermodels? You know,
They do. They suck in
2% of
bed.
the population can achieve that figure. Why is it the beauty standard? You know?
Right.
Yeah. I just find it a very
throwing it out
interesting
there.
topic that, you know, these guys are, and again, they are. Jeffrey out there.
They got me. They got me.
Did you get
Now,
beat
Jeff,
up?
now, Jeff, I want to.
Anally pro?
I was so scared.
I want to quit. I want to quit
saw
pro crow
Lisa.
Jeffrey. I want to quit pro crow Jeffrey because when we talked about the Fenty, the Fenty fashion show with the plus size lingerie for men,
Yes,
we had Jeffrey had quite a reaction.
No.
Do you think there is anything wrong with this? With these photos?
Fuck you, Steve. There's a reason why I ain't got nothing to say.
Look, I'm going to put it. I am a large March, as Vera has pointed out on this show tonight.
Do you go around where
I point out to you? No, I was talking.
No.
Do you go around? Would you got hanging out all over?
I wouldn't choose to. You know what I mean? I would not choose to because of the industry that I have worked my life in, predominantly. And even when I was at my skinniest, I was still too fat. And I saw photos of it today and went, "Oh my God, you were tiny. You were a tiny,
You
tiny."
were tiny in that picture with Lisa Marie.
I was smaller than that.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller than that. And I was still too fat.
I don't get it. Kirstie Alley, your beloved friend and idol, Jeffrey, went up and down her entire life, and she was still gorgeous.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I mean, look I go through my pictures and you can see it, right? Like, I have a.
Oh yeah, I fluctuate all the time.
15 different sizes. I mean, in just the last 5 years alone. You know what I mean?
But does it change your face? Does it change who you are?
Oh
no,
a little bit.
No.
It doesn't change your personality.
I regret shaving this short.
I'm more of an asshole when I'm thin.
In the last,
you know what I mean?
Well, yes, but you're
You're
not
cockier.
less of an asshole now.
Yeah, right.
in the last 4 or 5 months, I've lost 20 pounds, and I'm still considered obese. No joke. I just went to the doctor. My BMI.
Yeah, but who
is
believes a
still considered
BMI
obese.
these days anyway? Everyone can suck my dick.
A little
for
shit.
BMI.
I'm just throwing it out there that I've in the last 4 or 5 months, I've lost 20 pounds, and I am still considered overweight. I would like
a chin lift.
And
but anyway, we're not playing with Swan.
This is the standard here, and they're saying, "Great job! You're doing the best thing for your health. You are still overweight."
Congratulations, fatty, fat.
Look, I think whatever you choose to do is your personal choice, but I think you also need to be prepared, no matter what size
people have an opinion of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if you're famous.
You know my story with the cardiologist who kept trying to put me on meds.
I can't.
Even though she couldn't find a problem with my heart because I was fat.
It's like, Vera's fucked, but we can't find anything wrong with her. So, all right, I might be showing a bit of naivete here. Jeff Beck.
I gotta tell you,
legendary.
I don't know her.
He was.
I don't know him.
He was a talent.
He is one of the most legendary guitar players. He set a standard.
Yes. He played with Eric Clapton. He created
Rod Stewart, Eric Clapton. He set a standard for Led Zeppelin. This man, some of your favorite guitar players will probably tell you that they were inspired by Jeff Beck.
Yes. All of my favorite guitar players posted shit about Jeff Beck today.
He's dead.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Bacterial meningitis.
Long story short, he dead.
What a way to go.
You're
Long
fucked.
story short.
He's
dead.
He was a legend. He contributed to
the
greatest music of my life.
He's fucked.
In the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, bacterial meningitis. What a way to go.
What is with this year? What is with 2023? Just taking names. It's just like, oh, it's about 1700.
Oh,
I'm just saying, is that 3 already?
Yeah, more than. Barbara's gone. Lisa Marie's gone. Who else died? We've been covering dead people every show we've been back.
Died in 2022.
Oh, that's right. She was late. She was like, I will not die in 2023. I'm Barbara Walters.
Look, I'm available. If the year's ready, I'm available. I'm tired. I'm available.
No, fuck off.
Jeff, you're not famous enough yet, babe.
You're not
gotta keep that
gotta
keep that TikTok ticking over.
Yeah.
Famous. Yeah, get TikTok famous.
Oh, someone from the Lucy show died. That's 3. Carol something.
From the Lucy show?
I was about to rip the house down.
Yeah.
I'm like, Carol Burnett! But no, she's not dead.
No, not Carol.
I shouldn't even put that out there.
Sorry.
I shouldn't even put that out there.
Should I? She's fucking old as dirt.
She's old, man.
I know.
I'm worried about who's next.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
Jane
of
Fonda.
Listen,
Stop.
what I want to know.
Dolly.
Jane Fonda's
you
got
say
cancer.
that.
Jane Fonda could be next.
She's in remission. She's in remission. We covered it a couple
Steve,
weeks
She is
ago.
in remission, but
Boom
she could be
Jeffrey, he
next.
took
She
Dolly's
could be-
name in vain.
And
Yeah.
I will bet you ABC News already has her
fucking dare
fucking
you.
retrospective.
Oh, they would.
How dare you?
2020.
Is Dolly?
They're on
Does
top
Dolly
of
have
us.
enough genuine parts to be? I know. I feel like Dolly and Cher are like. Yeah. I shouldn't have even put that out there.
They've
Oh,
got
God,
some
could you imagine?
conservative going on.
Why
Oh,
would you say
Put on your
that?
fingers.
I shouldn't have put out there, but it's all right.
If Cher, I will be
Cher's
my
got a hot
phone,
young beau. She's
I
fine.
will not be
She
responsive
get
for a
fucked to
few
death.
days.
This is not
Shit.
okay.
I won't be all right.
I
You're
will be
okay
all
with
right.
hate
I
stuff.
will be all right.
Fine.
Tell you who will be all right
Get
because
out
she's
of it.
always.
Oh, it's
She's
gonna be
always-
Sia.
Snap out of it.
She's always ready. She's feisty. She's fiery. And she has an opinion.
I
Ladies
do
and
have
gentlemen,
opinions.
it is time for Vera Vance. Ooh, Vera.
Ooh.
Here we go.
All
3,
right.
2, 1. Vance.
All right, kids. It's been a hell of a week in politics. I mean, we didn't cover much of it during the show, but I'm gonna go there. I been paying attention to the culture wars. You know, the war on Christmas ended again with the Christmas season. Even though atheists like me have full-blown crush on her mantle and a Christmas tree just 10 feet away because, you know, we hate Christmas so much. And now, of course, the latest rumor is that the police are coming for your electric stove. Why? Why are we letting all this misinformation rule our lives? How can we stop it? I gotta know, because I know that nobody's coming for my gas stove. Yes, I am convinced that the Republicans like to sear their scallops too. I don't think anybody's coming for the gas stove. Yes, we all know now that it might cause cancer, but you know what might cause cancer? Scallops, because they grow in a polluted ocean. You know, everybody's running around saying Joe Biden is hiding documents just like Trump. No, that's not what's going on. It's just more misinformation. All the documents that Joe Biden had, yes, they were mishandled. Yes, they need to be investigated. And if he did anything wrong, yes, he needs to pay the price. But we're not standing there saying, you can't investigate Joe Biden. Investigate away. You know, things happen. People are imperfect. Stuff causes cancer. Why do we let this misinformation rule our lives? It can't. Nobody's above the law. If you're going to get cancer, you could get cancer from a glass of water. Our ecosystem is so fucking polluted. Nobody is coming for your gas stove. I know they don't sound like they're the same thing, but they are. It's all misinformation. You can't say, oh yeah, they're coming for my stove. They're making all the problems. And then still say, it's okay that the people on January 6th were hosing down police officers because the police officers were on the wrong side. What is it going to take for us to get back to the same narrative? How do we get from this extreme and this extreme back to the middle? We don't have to meet in the same space. Well, we got to be several feet. We can't be several miles. You know, I don't know what to say and I don't know how to fix it, but pay attention. I know that when Katie and I express our liberal opinions, we're very careful to check our sources. We need it from peer-reviewed sources. We need to know that it's the truth. But that's not Megyn Kelly running around saying, oh my God. Megyn Kelly is more irrelevant than the Queen. And the Queen's a part of an archaic system. I'm on a rant, I know, and it's probably not making any sense, but God damn it, pay attention, people.
Put Vera out of her misery.
We'll
put Vera out of her misery. She got lost.
Wait, nobody told me they were coming for my gas stove. When are they taking my gas stove?
How's Jeffrey gonna make this
That's gonna be your gas washer, your gas dryer.
They're saying the gas stoves cause cancer.
My whole house is gas.
Your gas stove.
No, yeah, you say about your gas dryer.
What are they gonna give me a grant?
No.
Yeah, they get a new one.
Gas stove. They're not even coming for your scallops. You're just as likely to get cancer.
What about my gas dryer? Is there cancer in my
gas dryer's going?
Your gas water heater?
Yeah, what about my gas water heater?
Jeff,
you should be converting that to solar.
What are you gonna do?
What about the meatballs?
There's meatballs and scallops?
Yeah.
Who told me about this?
Jeffrey's house.
Jeffrey's house.
There's no fish at my house.
Yeah, no.
What kind of no? It's not. It's the latest right-wing talking point that they're coming for your gas stove, and it short-circuited me, and I did get off track, and I apologize for that.
That's all right. We're all entitled to a brain.
I'm fascinated.
It's right there.
I got to make a TikTok now about the gas stove thing. Somebody write that down.
It's right there.
I'll take a note. We'll get right on that.
Thank you.
I'm not Rose.
All right, my loves. It is Friday the 13th here in Australia. It's Friday the 13th there. Tomorrow, if you didn't check out this week, Luke and I sat down with Friday the 13th Part 5 star Melanie Kinnaman. It was a very interesting conversation. She talked all about her time on General Hospital and what it was like to work on Cheers and a lot of interesting information, and revealed a big new project that she's been cast in.
I didn't know she worked on Cheers.
The conversation, she was only a guest star, but she said Kirstie Alley was a lovely and welcoming presence on the set of Cheers, so that's good to know. But
and her weight went up and down.
It did. But the chat with Melanie was super interesting, and it proves that if you are passionate about something, if you have a passion, that you should stick to it, because she has just landed the biggest role in her career, 40 years into her career. She's working with Kevin Costner and some huge names over at Paramount on a mini-series. So we're just going to keep plugging. We're going to no. It's a new mini-series. It's a Civil War related thing. Check out the interview. You'll be able to find out all about it. So we've just got to keep plugging away for another 40 years, and then Paramount will pick us up.
And just before we go, doesn't Katie look like Snow White?
She does.
I wish I could sleep for how many fucking years that bitch was sleeping.
And then some rapist's gonna come kiss you awake. Rude. Anyway, we're gonna go, and yes, the titles still haven't been updated, so they're old. Merry Christmas. See you all next week, you fucking assholes. Bye. Oh, please remember me, believe in me as someone.
Oh, shut this off.
Never gonna wish to burn. You're an idiot, and I hate you.